need a light down, treading ever so gingerly, trying to find ground. Cause you know when you walk so long, in your head it feels oh so wrong. We're not alone. No, we're not alone. At the end of these long roads, we'll gather there with our hands in the air. At the end of these long roads, we'll gather there with our hands in the air. In my mind there's a symphony in which I rely to guide me through this epiphany and to keep me on time. Cause you know when the beat is wrong, simple timing can be so hard. But we're not alone. At the end of these long roads, we'll gather there with our hands in the air. At the end of these long roads, we'll gather there with our hands in the air. At the end of these long roads, we'll gather there with our hands in the air. At the end of these long roads, we'll gather there with our hands in the air.
Buried here underneath some volcanic ash, there's this rock. Here's a foot. So this wall here is full of shells buried in the mud.
These are the 3 best shells.
It's the threat of the century, and I need a light down.
Alright, stop. Collaborate and listen. I just back my brain, invention something. I'm holding you tightly, flowing like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it stop? Yo, I don't know. Turn off the lights, all go to the extreme. Like a vandal, cut up stage, or jump like candle, dance.
Okay, so here we are talking about day 11, day 12. We started off at the KOA in Custer, again with Jason having issues with the parking brake. We ate pancake breakfast at the KOA while we packed up to leave. Then we went off to Rapid City, South Dakota, shopped a bit at the Cabela's there, and I found some sandals, which is good. And then Beth found me in the
Lost spouse department.
Lost spouse department. Yes.
It's where you go when you can't find your spouse.
Yes. So we drove to Spearfish, South Dakota, and to a rainbow trout, actually multiple types of trout hatchery. It's an old historic hatchery. We learned lots of things about the fish in South Dakota. One is that trout are not native to South Dakota, nor will they ever be able to reproduce in South Dakota because the weather patterns are different than what trout need. So they are always stocked in the South Dakota waters, as are salmon. And the boys were very excited to see the ponds. They had very, very large trout there, 24 inches, 10 to 15 pounds. And then the kids got to feed them with fish food, and really excited about that. Then we headed to Devil's Tower National Monument, where we walked around for for a bit, and Madeline actually stumbled across a snake. Madeline was walking with Nathaniel. She stumbled across a snake, a 4-foot bull snake that was eating a baby bird.
The boys went crazy. They're like, it's a snake eating a bird. So they had their snake fix that day.
Yeah. Saw a couple of mountain climbers on Devil's Tower, which was a lot of fun to watch. And then as we were leaving Devil's Tower, we left rather late, maybe 10 o'clock at night or something like that.
It was dark, very dark.
We wound up running over a snake in the middle of the road. So hopefully that's the last bit of wildlife we hit this trip. We spent the night in Buffalo, Wyoming. We came across the Occidental Hotel accidentally, because all the other spaces in the Buffalo, Wyoming area were full due to multiple rodeos happening around the area. So the Super 8 was full, the Comfort Inn was full, the Holiday Inn was full, everything was full, and it was about midnight, so we just needed a room. So we just went into town, found this place.
I have to say, it looked kind of scary at midnight with 3 kids.
Not knowing what to expect, walking into an old hotel. But we wound up sleeping in a one bedroom with a couch and a rollaway. The owner was extremely pleasant.
She was very nice.
And helped us out and showed us their Dinosaur and their library before the kids went to the room, which was room number 16, by the way. The boys were very impressed with the fossils. The whole place was full of lots and lots of antiques, lots of old photographs, authentic notes that were written to the hotel. Apparently it was the first business in Wyoming back in something like 1887, and it's been a hotel since the beginning. They had put some of the smaller rooms together to make the now large rooms, and everybody's got obviously plumbing and that kind of stuff. The President Coolidge actually stayed there for 2 weeks back in the 1920s, and then Buffalo Bill Cody, Calamity Jane, Teddy Roosevelt, and even others stayed there. So that was really cool to spend some time there and look over the pictures and see what that was all about.
It was really neat.
We then left the hotel, continued our journey to Yellowstone, and got slowed down by a 400-head cattle drive, and spent some time at Powder Pass, which is at the high point over the Bighorn Mountains at Route 16. And then when we were in Shell, Wyoming, we actually stopped at Red Gulch, which is a place where dinosaur footprints are preserved in this stone. You've seen the pictures for that. There are lots of shells then buried in this 15 feet of mud next to it. Very, very cool place to spend time at. Then we continued on to Gray Bull, where we stopped and ate lunch, and then we drove to Cody, then to Yellowstone, and now we're at the Madison Arm Resort, RV Park and Marina, on Madison Arm, which is Hebgen Lake in Montana, and we've spent some time at Yellowstone here now. So we'll talk to you later.